This is the first of a three-part video series where I break down the muscle up in different variations and all of the drills and skills that it takes to get there. And my goal with this is to help you understand where you're at in that muscle up progression and take you from where you are today to the next step. There will be chapters linked below, so if you need to skip around to different parts of the video or refer back to this later, you can.
I would say that mastery is being able to do strict kipping on the rings and on the bar. So we're going to talk about the strict strength that you'll need, the pulling strength, the pressing strength, and most importantly, the transition strength. A lot of you have enough pulling and dipping power to be able to complete the movement, but do you have the strength in the transition is kind of like that missing component. Especially those of you who have done ring and bar but never done strict. A lot of that is missing that transition component, which we'll talk about. And then the skill in order to be able to do it, understanding tension. Okay, tension on the rings is different than tension on the bar, and we'll talk about that. Shape change, so going from hollow to arch, being able to do that at the right time. And then progression with all of this, how do we take where you are today and make it so that you can get to all three of these and master the muscle. We're going to go over all of these different variations and pieces to this. Okay, now we have sets of low rings here. We're going to work this on the low rings first before we bring it to the high rings. In order to go from pulling on the bottom of something to getting on top, you need to have a grip that will allow you to pull and then press. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our wrists on the band like this, hands through. Okay, and then we're going to grab on. Okay, this is our friend, the false grip. Okay, again, hands on the wrist, and then you're going to grab. Okay, now this takes some strength in your grip. Okay, to be able to hold your wrist bent like that and hold your body weight. Okay, so this is my pulling grip, and that will transition to my pressing grip because my wrist is already on top. Now we're going to do this first drill. We're going to do a transition drill on the ground. You're going to use your feet to just guide you through the motion. Okay, so what I want you to do is tuck the shoulders back. Now I'm looking at my thumbs. The rings are going to stay close. Okay, and all I want to see is these two thumb knuckles touch at your sternum. Okay, and then we're going to trace through our chest. Okay, just through the bottom of the chest. The thumb needs to come to the sternum first with the rings like an inch apart. Okay, if you get the rings to here, when we get on the high rings, it's not going to work. Now we're going to use our use our feet to pull to our chest. Okay, so I want you to do 2 or 3 like this, holding that false grip. Okay, once you get your knuckles to your chest, then we're going to trace by looking at our toes. Okay, so we pull and trace to the bottom. Okay, now once you get to here, I don't want you to dip out. I want you to control the way back slowly. Okay, remember that eccentric is super important. So again, we're going to use our feet. We're going to pull, trace, and then we're going to go slow. Trying to get back to here with my knuckles touching before your body descends. Does that make sense? Pull real close. Good. Keep the rings like this. Okay. Hold to your chest. Good. Okay. Much better. Keep your knuckles closer. Beautiful, like that. Good. Now, we're going to do that high pull to the sternum and then trace. Okay, use your feet for assistance. So he's trying to grab the top. I need this crux of your knuckle, of your wrist to stay there. Okay? That's why you saw me chalk up this part of my hand. Okay, because sometimes that part gets sweaty and slips. If that slips, you're not going to be able to make it happen. Let's see. Good, really good. Okay, now I can tell you that this next drill is the way that I got my first strict ring muscle up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little swing set for our body. This is literally how I got my muscle up. Okay, if you have some pull-ups and some push-ups, and some dips, this should be plenty for you to get your muscle up. Okay, so you're gonna sit in this band like a swing, and we're literally gonna do the same thing. This, rings come here, okay, in front of the band, because we're gonna trace through. Okay, so again, we're gonna pull and then out of the dip. The way back down, again, is the important part. So I want you to control and then trace your chest all the way down. Okay, so really fighting this way back. You're putting it on your butt. Like that. Hey, feet up from good, press. So I wanna see your knuckles facing each other again before you descend. Good, so wide. Try again. I want you to keep your elbows in the whole time. Going right next to your shirt. Keep it tight, tight, tight. Much better, much better. This strength is what we want to build, okay? Some of you have a lot of pull-ups and you have a lot of push-ups, but that, being able to make your shoulder do that is very hard, okay? So this drill will help build that transition strength. So this is a key to being able to get your first muscle up, is understanding that you need to catch this thing deep, okay? You need to have strength deep down here, okay? So if I go to the deepest position of my dip and pick my feet up, I have a lot of strength to be able to hold myself tight in this position. Okay, a lot of you have strength up here, and we get down here and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna fall, okay? Or the elbows feel out, or it hurts your shoulders or something like that, okay? So just like we need strength to hold support, we need strength down here, at the deepest position of our dip, because that's where you're gonna get to on your first ones, okay? You're not gonna pull all the way up here and then be like, oh man, magically my hands are by my ribs and I can just pull up the dip, okay? Awesome. Hiring pull-up. Jumping up, grabbing a false grip, and being able to pull to your chest. Okay, so we're going to grab boxes in a second, which we'll use for later. This is just going to help you get onto the rings. Okay, but ideally what we're going to do, we're going to get here, we're going to go into our false grip, and we're going to pull up to our chest, holding that false grip, rings together. If you can't do a pull-up, that's fine. What I want you to do is we're going to hold a false grip hang. Like I said, there is an amount of strength that it takes to be able to hold this grip like this. So you're going to get your wrist on top. Same thing we talked about earlier. You're going to grab onto the rings. Okay? You're going to hold yourself. Elbow extended. Here. Okay? You should be able to turn out and turn back in and not lose that grip on top of the pad of your hand. Really good. Very good. Not bad. What you can't do is hesitate. As soon as you get to the deepest position of this dip, you trace and you start to look through. Once you get to here, if you had that dip down here where you're like just kind of sitting at the bottom of the dip, that's all you need to be able to do your first ring muscle up strict. Okay, because most of you, if you can pull it there, you can probably dip your way out of it. What we're going to do is get up on our rings. Okay, we're going to hold our from the false grip. Okay, ideally we flash out. Okay, I don't need to see this for your first one, but I'd like to see you hold deep, trace your chest, and press. Who wants to try it? You need the box so close?
Oh no, probably not.
Brad. Oh.
Money
Good. Once you get to here, don't hesitate, don't stop pulling. The transition is a pulling part, okay? Good, good, good! Congratulations if you just got your first strict ring muscle up. That's super freaking cool.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leave a comment down below. Hit like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about anything, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to answer them. If not, I'll see you in the next video.